What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I've been gone, and I'm a married man now. I left unmarried, came back married, and we had a great time. We went to the Smoky Mountains for our honeymoon, and we got married on the 11th of October, and so it was going to be peak time for the fall colors up in the Smoky Mountains. But we got there, wasn't really very colorful, but we got to see through the week the colors change, which was really beautiful. So great trip, and I just wanted to say that marriage is one of the greatest blessings, and I'm really thankful for my wife. And I just want to say to the young people out there that whenever you're thinking about settling down and getting married, it can be scary, very scary. But once you're on the other side of it, if you're doing it with the right intentions to glorify God, then it is one of the greatest blessings. The Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So if you got a girl that you really love, if you're a guy, or if you're a girl, a guy, just make sure it's opposite gender, whatever it is. I hate that I even have to say that, but I do. And you love her, and he loves you, then settle down, get married, start a family. It is one of the greatest blessings from God to us. All of that aside, I wanted to jump into some chatter that's going on online. I've been very active on X lately, and there's a lot of stuff being said about people questioning the federal narrative on what happened with Charlie Kirk assassination, and I'm going to cover that. And I just want to start off by saying that I like Candace Owens. There, I said it. Can't even believe that that's something scandalous that somebody would have to say. I listen to Candace Owens. I do. I'm proud of it. I don't care. She gives good information. Okay. I've fact checked her information. I have turned it inside out, and I've never been able to come up with anything against most of it. Sometimes I do. And usually whenever I do, she comes back and corrects it because she finds it too. That's how my relationship with Candace Owens' show has been. And so I like her, and I watch her, and she's got good info. Yeah, I'm sure she's gotten some things wrong at some times, but I've never seen her not correct herself when she finds out something she presents as factually incorrect. So I'm just going to put that out there from the get-go. But I will say that for me personally, the federal narrative of Charlie Kirk's death does not make sense. Anybody with common sense knows that it doesn't make sense. Any of us old country boys know that it doesn't make sense. And Candace Owens knows that it doesn't make sense, and people like her. And there's just like a visceral reaction from people on the internet attacking anybody who is just questioning slightly the narrative of what's going on. One of the biggest lies that I've heard spread around right now is that Candace Owens is saying that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. That is factually not true. That's a claim made by people who have not watched her full show, or have watched her full shows and her full episodes, and are completely lying and misrepresenting what she is saying. Okay. They're manipulating what she is saying. She has stated that there were a bunch of pro-Zionists that were pressuring Charlie toward the end of his life, but that's kind of a separate investigation from, what is going on with the assassination. But something that we're finding that's interesting, that's crossing over, is that these same people who are being proven to have pressured Charlie toward the end of his life are the same people that are getting so mad that anybody is questioning the federal narrative about what happened to Charlie Kirk. So she's never said that Israel did it. That's not true. That's something that is just going around the internet. She is overturning every stone and looking at every lead, as anybody who is questioning something should do. I feel like if you don't trust something, you should go and research it and see if it passes your smell test. And if it doesn't, then throw it out. Don't believe it. So that's what I have to say about Candace. But now I'm going to get into the reasons why I question the narrative, and I have since the beginning. Whenever I heard that Charlie Kirk was shot with a 30-06, and then I saw the video of Charlie Kirk getting shot, I knew that it wasn't a 30-06 gun. Us country folks know that a 30-06 at about 200 yards is going to blow through whatever it hits and probably make about a, 3 to 4 inch exit wound, something like that. So whenever Candace Owens came out and said, hey, I watched the footage of the camera that was positioned behind Charlie, the camera footage that was taken by one of the people that was working at the event, and the SD card was taken out, and that footage was floating around. You can go find it. I didn't pull the clip, but she got to see that footage, and she's like, there's no exit wound. And Andrew Colvette, who is the PR representative for Turning Point USA, actually tweeted out and confirmed that Candace Owens was correct. There was no exit wound. And I'm going to read you that tweet right now before I go further. So let me pull this up really quick. Andrew Colvette, tweet 1. And sorry, I'm a one-man show with no production team as of yet. So I'm a little bit dicey in the way that I do this. Bear with me. Okay, let me pull this up right here. It says, I want to address some of the discussion about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter. Stop there. Right off the bat, he is making this an appeal to emotion. He is acting like anybody who is questioning, hey, a 30-06 blows a 4-inch exit wound, that you're just chattering. Like, how dare you? But I will give him credit. It is his job to do PR for Turning Point USA and just try to, put your head down and keep on going. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that, but automatically that catches my eye. Continuing, and I apologize that this is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle I want people to know. I just spoke with the surgeon, I spoke with the surgeon who worked on Charlie in the hospital. He said the bullet should have absolutely gone through, which is very, very normal for high-powered, high-velocity rounds. I've seen wounds from this caliber many times. They always go through everything. This doctor's correct. This would have taken a moose or two down. That's also correct. An elk, etc., but it didn't go through. Charlie's body stopped it. Second slide. I mentioned to his doctor that there were dozens of staff, students, and special guests standing directly behind Charlie on the other side of the tent, and he replied, it was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed. His bone was so healthy, and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have gone through and through. It would have likely killed those standing behind him, too. In the end, the coroner did find the bullet just beneath the skin. Even in death, Charlie managed to save the lives of those around him. Remarkable and miraculous. Okay, y'all guys buying that? That seems like a very highly emotional appeal to emotion message. Does God do miracles? And that's kind of what he's going with. He's appealing to us Christians who believe in miracles. Yes, he does. But come on, when the federal government is involved, we're not just going to assume a miracle and say, okay, well, we might as well not look into this now because they're saying it's a miracle. No, me as a government official, I'm going to say, especially if I'm the FBI, hey, we know guns. We know that this sort of caliber of rifle should blow through whatever it goes through, whatever it hits, and blow out a 4-inch exit wound. So we're going to look into this because this doesn't seem right. But no, they decided to go with that narrative that it was a 30-06. Makes no sense. I want to show you a video that I found, and this was by a creator on X, Johnny Zinni, who put together a video of the kind of damage that a 30-06 does at around 200 yards. So I'm going to pull that clip up real quick. Oh, that is loud. I'm going to have to turn that way down, maybe even completely down. I'm just going to mute it probably and narrate this. So let me share my screen here. Okay, share. So watch this. This guy has a 30-06 that he's going to fire, and it does freeze every once in a while and load because I guess my internet's not great. Maybe I can get it to play. Maybe I can't. Okay, I can't get it to play. That's all right. Well, oh wait, maybe it's on. Yeah, here he goes. Maybe I can fast forward a little bit just so you can see the damage. Okay, I can't get it to work. That's fine. That's okay. Let's bring it back here. Basically, you can go. It's at Johnny Zinni, JOHNNYZENNY. And you can watch that video of videos he put together demonstrating what a 30-06 does at 200 yards. And it's saying exactly what I'm saying, blowing a 4-inch exit wound. So that is the first reason why that I don't trust this narrative that it was a 30-06. The gun is a problem to me. And I haven't found any good explanation as to how that could work. Okay, to find the bullet lodged just beneath the skin of the neck, like the coroner said, definitely doesn't make sense to me. Second thing is the way that they present that Tyler carried the gun. They said he carried it in his pant leg up to the roof and then got it out and shot Charlie. And then we were like, okay, we see this video, though, that y'all released that's alleging it's Tyler Robinson jumping off the roof and running across the yard, and it's obvious that he doesn't have a rifle in his pant leg. So then they said, okay, well, he disassembled the gun. He disassembled the gun while he was up there and then packed it up and jumped down and ran away. Okay, but everybody knows, and I think I pulled this clip, this picture here. Yeah, I did, and I'm going to show it right now. Everybody knows, and everybody saw the picture that came out whenever they found the gun. And, y'all, the gun was found fully assembled. So you're saying to me that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. He had the, I think if I just shot somebody and I was a young kid that doesn't have a history of crime like Tyler Robinson didn't, that I would be shaky. I would be, I wouldn't know what to do. It would be shocking to me. But you're saying he had the brain power to disassemble his gun, pack it up, run away. Then after that, also have the wherewithal to put the gun back together, wrap it in a towel, and put it in a box for the police to find, and then write this Shakespearean novel to his transgender girlfriend, boyfriend, he, she, it, they, whatever. The Shakespearean novel to him that sounded like Hamlet. I am pulling up to the location and there is a squad car there and I am laying the firearm in the bush and, and hark, I hear the cops coming. Like, it sounds completely ridiculous. I'm not going to jump into the messages because I just don't have good feelings about the messages. I really don't have evidence against the messages at this point, but I think most of us know that they're kind of BS at this point. So, but I'm not going to go into that. But you're telling me he had the wherewithal to do all of that. That's what the feds are running with. And that is my second point. The third point is going to be that the eyewitness to the shooter, they say that's Tyler Robinson, but to the shooter is what I'm going to say, taking the shot at Charlie. And there was an eyewitness. The feds have steered away from this narrative that there was, but there is. And there's footage of this eyewitness that he takes of the individual, the shooter, getting into position. And after this video ends, it is 20 seconds after this video ends that the shot is fired that kills Charlie Kirk. So I'm going to play that clip if I can find it. Yeah, right here. And I'm going to actually turn the volume on this one too because it's so loud. But anyway, here is that clip of the eyewitness. And just remember, 20 seconds after this shot, after this individual gets into position and this video ends, is when this individual who took the video saw him take the shot. He's the eyewitness to the shot being fired. Take a watch. So he's zooming in and you see the individual on top of the roof. You see him moving on top of the roof right there. You can find all this online too. It's a little choppy here because my internet connection's not great. But anyway, that's basically, sorry guys, I wish that the video quality was a little bit better. But anyway, you can go find that online as well. So after that video was taken, 20 seconds after the shot was fired, the eyewitness that took that video came forward and said, hey, this individual that was on the roof was wearing full tactical gear. He was wearing full tactical gear and a face mask. Okay. So that doesn't match the description that they gave of Tyler Robinson and what he was wearing when that shot was fired, when he was up on the roof. That doesn't match the feds' description. So the feds' description of Tyler Robinson, who they are trying to say is the killer, and the only eyewitness to the person getting in position conflicts. So, let me just pull up the photo of Tyler Robinson right now. It is, it's very clear that he is, he's not wearing tactical gear. That's what they're saying he was wearing when you took the shot. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, if I was on the jury and there was a jury that was, making the call on Tyler Robinson, whether he gets the death penalty or not, justice in America, you're supposed to, convict beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. You're supposed to say, okay, this person is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And in what I've shared, I was thinking to myself, I can't think that. I can't say beyond a reasonable doubt that this is how this went down. That has caused doubt in my mind, all of these things that aren't lining up. And I can't, knowing the justice system of America, knowing our American values on pleading, accusing somebody of being guilty or not guilty and making that call, I can't with good conscience as a Christian, as an American patriot, say, hey, this guy is guilty. I can't do it. The only eyewitness conflicts. The gun description doesn't match up with the damage done, with the bullet lodged right beneath the neck. The timeline of him taking the gun apart and then putting it back together, none of that makes any logical sense at all. And then, just for fun, photos emerged that I'm going to show you right now of Tyler Robinson, and I guess he needed to go get a bite to eat after he shot Charlie. He did, just made him a little bit hungry, and this is that picture right here. He just decided he wanted to run to the local Dairy Queen and get him a burger, because you and change his shirt too, because you have the brain power after you shoot someone for the first time, never having a criminal record, to take your gun, disassemble it, get down, put it back together, hide it in a box wrapped in a towel, and then go and get a burger at Dairy Queen. I mean, isn't that how that works? And this is a 21-year-old college kid with no criminal history, So, yeah, none of it makes sense to me. There's a lot of holes that you can poke in this narrative, and this is just the surface. You guys need to dig into this a little bit deeper, and I am following this story still. But are any of y'all buying that? So whenever you see this online chatter of these big accounts trying to say Candace Owens is a nutcase, they need to cancel Tucker Carlson. That's another person they're trying to cancel. They need, not even because he is differing from the federal narrative, but because he is saying that Charlie changed his views on Israel, some of his views on Israel toward the end of his life and all of this stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Look into it. Don't let them tell us we're crazy for being logical, for saying, yeah, no, this doesn't pass the test for me. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But now I'm going to talk about Kash Patel, who's the director of the FBI, and why I also don't trust this narrative that they're putting out is because, remember, Kash Patel is the person who was saying, oh, there's Epstein files. We need to get the Epstein files out. I'm going to drain the Washington, D.C. of all these pedophiles, and I'm going to call them out, and this is a quote from Kash Patel in 2023 that I'm going to pull up and read to you, because this is just hilarious. I mean, it's just it's completely funny. It's not really funny, but you got to laugh so you don't cry or punch somebody in the face. He said, "What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list," meaning the Epstein list. "Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are." That was Kash Patel in 2023, and that certainly aged well, because it's seeming now that maybe Kash Patel has dropped his pants, or maybe he never was wearing pants, because he said that there is no evidence of an Epstein list. Yeah, we don't know why Ghislaine Maxwell's in jail. There's no Epstein list. She didn't help secure clients. Why is she in jail? Why is Prince Andrew being stripped of his prince title in the UK for being connected to Epstein? Okay, so we already know that he's gaslighting us about the Epstein files. And now Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Kent at the Department of Intelligence are trying to look into foreign powers being involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, and Kash Patel is fighting them. This is an article from the Daily Mail that I'm going to pull up for you here, and this is interesting. Okay, the headline reads: Let me scroll up here. Kash Patel shuts down Charlie Kirk foreign intelligence probe, an explosive feud with Trump's counterterror chief. I'm going to read this first part here. FBI Director Kash Patel crushed efforts by Tulsi Gabbard's closest advisor to see if foreign power was involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. The head of National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, analyzed FBI files to determine whether Kirk's alleged killer received assistance from a foreign power. Kent's investigation alarmed Patel, who believed the counterterror chief was overstepping by interfering with an ongoing FBI investigation, according to the New York Times. And then the rest of the article just kind of goes through the crime and what happened that day, what the feds are saying happened that day. So yeah, Kash Patel is kind of fighting transparency here. You know, he was saying there's going to be a transparent, swift investigation to catch this killer, you know, and now somebody's saying, hey, dude, I think there might be some, you know, foreign power involved in this. You know, we're all MAGA, aren't we all working together? He's going through the file, you know, and the Department of Intelligence and the FBI share files all the time. So this is not unusual. And he's saying, yeah, their foreign powers might be involved. And Kash Patel is saying, no, you're overstepping your bounds. We're not going to talk about that. That's very funny. Very funny. So I don't trust the federal narrative. A lot of you I know don't trust the federal narrative, and for good reason, because it doesn't make sense. It does not pass our smell test. It does not make any logical sense. And they're going to try to gaslight you, and they're trying to gaslight us online, saying that we should not question the federal narrative of Charlie Kirk, okay? That we should just trust the feds, and the best thing we could do to honor Charlie is to just you know, quit looking into it, quit thinking too much. I would say Charlie Kirk would say the opposite. He would say, let open discourse happen, you know, let people talk about it. The truth, you know, if you believe in the truth so much, you believe that the truth always rises to the top. It's like the cream of the milk. It always rises to the top, okay? It's only liars who are afraid of discussion and open discussion about what is going on in a situation. It's only people who have something to hide, something that they don't want out, some narrative that they don't approve of getting out, that want to silence people from really mulling over. You know, if I was doing the best that I could to figure out what is happening in a case, I would feel like I would invite people to help me out. I might miss something. My department might miss something. Maybe I want somebody from another part of the MAGA White House to help me out and say, yeah, because I really want to catch this killer. The only reason I could see that he is fighting this is if he really doesn't want to turn over every stone. And so it's not looking good in Kash Patel's favor. We didn't trust him. And we don't trust the gaslighting that's going on with the Epstein files, or I don't at least. And this is another nail in this coffin that he's building for himself. And that is just my view on that. So I'm going to keep looking into this. I'm going to keep following this story. And if I find out new information or something that I just feel like I need to share, I'll get on here and share it. But that's all I've got for now. Thank you for tuning back in after the long break. I'm glad to see you all back here. And if you want to support me, I'm actually not on Substack anymore. I'm on Locals. So you can go to ZachReardonUnfiltered.locals.com. ZachReardonUnfiltered.locals.com. That's where you're going to get to be able to connect with me directly. You're going to get some behind the scenes stuff. We're going to start, I'm starting a book club lineup. I'm already picking out the books so that we can kind of delve into literature and books and ground ourselves on what's true. First of all, get into your Bible. Before you even do this, start reading your Bible every day. Before you start reading anything else, start reading your Bible every day. And then I just want to, together with you guys, build this foundation of how we should think, separate from our indoctrination that we probably grew up with in our schools. Except for me, I was homeschooled, but you know, we just want the best information out there. And the best way to do that is read books. Get off of social media and read books. So that's what I'm trying to do with the book club that I'm planning. You're not going to want to miss out on that. So remember, ZachReardonUnfiltered.locals.com. And I will see you all next week.